What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Casual Big Ten Podcast. My name is Kent Peterson. I'm the host of this show. And on today's show, we're joined, as always, by BetB1GBrad and B1G Wilson. Wilson, we'll start with you. How you doing this week? You ready to make some picks, baby?
I am ready. Football weekend starts tonight with the Lions, and you got a good Big Ten matchup tomorrow all the way through Sunday. Let's go.
I don't think there's a game tomorrow.
There is, I think.
Are you sure about that?
Or at least a ranked one, not a Big Ten one. I think Oregon State plays someone. It's not a Big Ten game. It's Utah versus Oregon State plays tomorrow. Both ranked and ranked.
Should we add that to our picks?
No.
Okay.
I'll probably get another game wrong. I don't need that one.
Brad, do you have a better grasp of your schedule?
No, I have no idea. I'm more lost than I was when this show started already.
I also, Wilson, was putting on the facade that we were recording on Tuesday because I think some of these lines have changed since then. So I was kind of trying to pretend like we were doing that, but that's okay. We could tell people it's Thursday. That's fine.
Sorry.
All right. Let's get into this, though. As always, this show is for entertainment purposes only. We are not gambling professionals, nor giving financial advice, so don't come at us. But you might want to listen to Brad with an asterisk. Don't really listen to him because last week, Brad was 9-9, taking over the crown. Brad, the first week that you have the crown, how are you feeling about that? At 9-9, a 500 record on the week got you the crown.
I'm excited. Let's open up the phone lines. I'm ready. Let me take caller number one.
I was trying to pull up. I forget what our records were last week. I was trying to pull it up real quick, but I don't have it right here. Wilson, how were you feeling about your picks last week?
Terrible. I think I was 5-13 or something like that. Just complete reversal from the week before.
Yep, 5-13 for Wilson. I was 7-11. Open all the time, baby. 7-11. And Brad, of course, was 9-9. Like I said, he's got the crown affixed firmly to his video screen right now. That brings the overall records for the team here. Brad is taking the lead overall, 44-40, 4 games over 500. I'm at 43-41, and Wilson, the exact opposite of me, just 2 games under 500, 41-43. Really exciting that we're all kind of floating right around that 500 number. Wilson, are you feeling confident about this week that you're going to get back on the horse and get back over that 500 number?
I'm feeling better. I got some gut feelings about some of these games. I don't know if they're going to be correct, but at least I have a feel. At least I'm telling myself that. Going in optimistic.
Brad, are you feeling like another 500 week is ahead of you or even better than that this week?
How many games are there? 7?
6.
Oh, there's 6.
There's only 6, so you got 12 here. So you got to get to 7 wins if you're going to get over 500 this week.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
I'm going to take some risks though. I am feeling confident with that little 2-game cushion. I'm going to take some risks this week. Some things that you guys might not like, but they could happen.
Ooh, that's intriguing. Before we get to those picks, though, as we always do at this time of the week, we're going to go to Twitter. Every week I put out the big board, all the games, all the lines, all the overs and unders for the week. We ask you guys to reply, and we promise that we will read them live here on the air. Brad, this first one's for you. We have Jerome 13. He said, for the first time this year, I feel Michigan covers. Their offense will score around 30 while allowing single digits on defense. And again, they're playing at Nebraska. Your thoughts on that?
Call Jerome. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was reading the email. I didn't listen to a thing you said.
Oh, okay.
What was it? Something about Nebraska? I'm sorry.
He said that Michigan's going to score 30. Nebraska's in single digits. Michigan covers for the first time this week.
It could happen. I'm not trusting it, but it could. That could happen.
Could very well happen. We'll have to see what Brad actually picks when we get to that. Wilson, we have Jim here. He's at Sports Jim Doc. He said, as a Cats fan, I won't bet it, although I'll be in Vegas. But State Penn wins by 40. Fired up with our overrow your boat man-child, but Ben will regress to his mean. That was, I don't know. I swear that was how it was written. I read it word for word how it was written. That was tough for me to read, but what'd you take from that, Wilson?
That he should put his money where his mouth is and bet it while he's in Vegas. That's all I got to say. Whatever he said, bet that.
Well, he said he's a Cats fan and State Penn's winning by 40.
But he said he wasn't betting that in Vegas, though, right?
Well, I think he's partially saying he's a fan of the team that's about to lose by 40. That's probably why he's not betting it.
But then if you win money on it, you'll take away some of the pain. I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
This is facts. That's good advice from Wilson right there. Hope Jim's listening. Brad, back to you. We got Chuck Dean here. He's at Saving Culture. Nebraska plus 17.5. Defense and crowd will keep it very close in the beginning. Don't see Michigan winning by 18. Your thoughts?
That also could happen. That's a toss-up game right there, I'm telling you. It could go either way.
I mean,
if I'm being honest with you, it could literally go either way.
Yeah, we just don't know until they play.
We don't know yet. Yeah, they're gonna have to get out there and actually throw the football around a little bit, and we might find out.
Wilson, we're back to you on this comment. Really great Twitter name here. It's Anthony Montagna. He says Tua Jr. goes after his brother's 70.
Sheesh.
I don't think about that high, but I do think they win pretty easily. But 70 is a lot of points. Lots of points.
That's a lot of points, that's a lot of points in any football game, but a college game, that's a lot. Brad, back to you. This is another fun Twitter name. We got Rule Aid. Get it? Like Kool-Aid, but it's Matt Rule's last name. Rule Aid. Are you with it?
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah.
He
That's
said,
nice.
Hard not to take the Skurs with the points, given the over-under is so low. Is that a good point?
That is a good point. Yeah. A lot of Nebraska, Michigan comments towards me.
Yeah, it's just working out. I'm just
Listen,
going back and forth here.
Listen, it's I'm gonna get a little bit deeper on this. It could go either way.
You just don't know.
I'm not sure about that game. I'm gonna pick that game live on this show. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. We got 3 more comments.
Real quick, make him go first on that game when we're picking them.
Oh, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. All right. We got Roll Terps here for Wilson. He simply says, Maryland covers.
Sure. I mean,
Okay. Brad, back to you. Jacob Hostetter says Purdue, Illinois, under. Man, I got to say right here, I'm not giving away a pick here, but I have to agree with that. Purdue, Illinois, under. You with that, Brad?
I am with that.
I'm riding with Jake on this one, even though it says Jacob on here. All right, last comment here. Thanks for all the comments, by the way, everybody. These have been great. Wilson, Matt at CP 10 says Iowa Sparty under. Once again, it's a pretty solid choice.
It's probably a winner. Probably a winner. All right. We're a little pressed for time, so we're going to jump right into these games, and I can't wait to talk about them. First game up that we have is Penn State. They're traveling down to Northwestern. The over-under is 46.5. Penn State favored by 25.5 points on the road. Northwestern, huge home underdog. I'm going to go to Wilson first for this one. You got the Cats versus the Lions. Cats coming off that big win last week against the Gophers. What do you think is going to happen in this game? Can they keep it close again or maybe even win? I think it'll be close to start just because it'll be an 11 a.m. tip or kickoff in Central Time.
This guy's got basketball on the mind.
Yeah. I think Penn State will come out a little slow and sluggish. I'm going to go with Northwestern to cover the 25.5, and I'm also going to take the under 46.6 as you have it listed.
Okay. Brad, are you riding with Willie on this one?
Yeah, what is 46.6? That can't be right.
That's what it says, right?
That's what the note. That's the line.
Oh, did I
No.
put 0.6?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I mean, it's funny though because it could be any point, anything. As long as it's not 0.0, it's the same thing, really, right?
That's true. That's true.
My bad. 46.6 is the line. Did I read it like that too when I was reading it?
I don't think you read it.
Oh, okay.
Either way, hilarious.
I bet I did.
I actually think the opposite of Wilson on this one. I think Penn State is one of the more focused teams this year so far. They showed no stopping against Iowa. Northwestern, how do they deal with success? They haven't had it before. I don't think they're going to come off and continue that on. I'm going Penn State to cover the 25.5. And I do think Northwestern to put up a few points. I'm going to go over.
Okay. Wilson, just doubling back on this, you said over or under?
Under.
All right, my bad on that one. All right, I'm also going with Wilson on this one. Sorry, Brad, but I think that Northwestern kind of finding themselves a little bit maybe building up some confidence behind Coach Braun a little bit. I think they could keep it within. That's a huge number, man. They got to score 4 touchdowns more than Northwestern on the road. Like Wilson said, 11 a.m. kickoff in Central Time Zone. I just don't see that. I can see Northwestern keeping it within 20 at the least. So I'll take Northwestern with the points. But I will go with Brad on the over. Fun fact, Northwestern this year, 3-1 on overs in their 4 games. They are the only Big Ten team with a winning record on overs in the entire conference. So I will take the over with Northwestern and one of the best scoring offenses in the country. Even though they're going up against the number 1 defense in the country, I'll still take the over on this one. So Northwestern and the over. All right, second game, the team that they beat last week, it's Minnesota. They go back home. They're favored by 11.5 against a potent Louisiana offense. We started with Wilson last time. The over-under is 45.5. Minnesota favored by 11.5. Brad, what do you got on this game?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Minnesota comes out after that overtime loss at Northwestern. I don't think many of their fans had that as a loss at the beginning of the year.
I did.
I like Minnesota to win, but I think it's going to be close. 11 and a hook is too much for me. I'm going to take Louisiana, and I love the over in this game.
Loves the over. Wilson, do you love the over?
I do. It's the lowest point total I think they've had all year was 31. I still think Minnesota wins this, but I'm going to go with the Raging Cajuns and the over as well.
Nice. I do like Louisiana. They have a really good offense. They're 19th in the country so far, but they've played against some really bad teams. I think Minnesota's the best defense that they've played against. I think that their offense can score enough to keep it close, but I'm with you guys. I think Minnesota bounces back and wins this game, but I do think it's going to be under. I like something like 28-10 or something like that, or 21-14 even. 28-10 actually would mean that Minnesota's covering, so that doesn't work. So I'll say 24-17, something like that, 24-14, something like that in that range. So I'll take Louisiana, and I will take the under in this game. All right, next game we have is a 3:30 game. Purdue, man, this has got to be one of the toughest games to choose, I think, because of all the unknowns. We have Purdue, we have Illinois. Purdue back at home, Illinois traveling down to Ross-Ade. The Boilermakers are favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is the largest in the Big Ten this week, 53.5. That's a lot of points for some offenses that aren't very good, I feel like. I'll go first on this one. I like Purdue. I said this in my Kickstart episode. I don't have any evidence that suggests that Purdue will win this game or should win this game. I just think that Hudson Card maybe is a little bit better of a quarterback. And with the game being at home, I think that Purdue squeaks out a win. But I don't feel confident about this whatsoever. And then also I'm going to take the under in this game. I think 53.5 is too much for, like I said, two offenses that turn the ball over quite a bit. And they're just matched up really well. So I think this will be a lower scoring game than people are expecting. So I'll take Purdue and the under in this game. Wilson, what do you got?
Also going to take Purdue in the under. I think these are two bad teams, but I think Purdue has the ability to correct more mistakes or recover from more mistakes than Illinois does. Meaning if Illinois turns the ball over, it's going to take a lot of possessions for them to recover and score. I think Purdue would be able to score a little quicker. So I'll take them to win, but I got the under.
All right. Brad, what do you got?
Oh, boy. Yeah, this was a tough one. Illinois is probably one of the more disappointing teams this year. We had some people pick them as their dark horse to win the West. Not just people on this show. I know there was at least one person on this show that did that. But there was like some Big Ten pundits that were picking Illinois too. So
name them. I want to hear names. Dummies. I want receipts.
Howard Griffith, Howard,
what
Howie.
Idiot. Although the crazy thing is, like, that's not far-fetched still at this point in the year. Like, it could still happen.
It'll be Iowa again.
The West is such a joke, man. Such a joke. I'm going with Purdue strictly because it's at Purdue.
Yeah.
And I like the under because everybody else does. Same reasons.
Yeah.
Too many points.
Too many points. They're too evenly matched up too. There's no way that over's gonna hit. There's no shot, brother. All right. Next game we have here. We'll head over to the East now. That's enough West talk for a moment. Maryland traveling to Indiana. Maryland favored by 14.5 points. They're just coming off a lot of victories. I think Maryland's looking strong right now. They got to win by at least 15 though this week if they want to cover, and the over-under is 50.5. We are going to Wilson first for this one. Wilson, what do you got for the Terps versus the Hoosiers this week?
I have Maryland covering, but I'm taking the under. Surprisingly, Maryland wasn't that impressive to me last week, despite them beating Michigan State pretty good. They actually watched the game, unfortunately, like I did. They were aided by a lot of turnovers by Michigan State and bad field position. So I think they'll still cover this 14.5, but I don't think they're that special of a team.
All right, Brad, what do you like in this Indiana game?
I'm going to tell you right now. Let's take some callers, though. Can we take a couple callers?
Phone lines are open right now.
I want to see if we can get some advice on this one.
Some would say you just took a call. That's why we had to edit this episode a little bit.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm a businessman.
That's
not a business, man. Let me handle my business. Damn. I did not get to see the Maryland game last week. I did listen to a few plays. It was heartbreaking. But I agree with Wilson here. I don't think they're overly impressive. However, they are playing Indiana, is what it says here. And Indiana had some struggles last week against the Zips of Akron. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that team or not. Not very good. Had their way with the Hoosiers a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and have Maryland covering. 50.5 is way too much, though. I think it's going to be like 28-10.
I like that.
Roll with me, baby.
I'm going to roll with you. I'm also taking Maryland to cover in this game. I think they win by 3 touchdowns. And I think that the only reason this game's going to go over is because Indiana's defense has been playing pretty good this year. I'm thinking of the Ohio State game week 1. So I think that it could stay under 50.5 points. Not confident with the over-under, but I do think that Maryland's going to cover pretty easily in this game, so I am confident with that. All right, Brad, it's time. It's Michigan. It's Nebraska. Michigan's heading out to Nebraska, leaving the big house for the first time this year. This game's on at 3:30 on Fox. Michigan favored by 17.5 on the road. Over under is 40.5 points. What do you have, Brad? The people have been waiting on bated breath for your opinion on this game. What's going to happen here?
I can't be sure. I really it's a 3:30 game. Ugh.
Does that matter?
I'm going to go. It does matter, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Just trying to fill some airtime here. Should we take a caller, maybe?
Dude, I'm gonna get it. I'll get a phone line, man. Don't test me.
Oh my God. All right. Michigan has been having some issues covering their spreads.
Mm-hmm.
This is by far the lowest they've had. This is also their first road game. There's just so many back and forth with this. They couldn't be more focused. Nebraska, they got to get up for this game. 17. Man. I'm going to take Nebraska to keep it within 17.5. I'll take the points and give me the over.
You sure about that?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a score I would like in this game.
Take your time, though. Take your time.
I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it.
All right, Wilson, maybe a little bit quicker than that. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
So I think Michigan will win. And really, in terms of covering the spread and going over-under, it's really going to come down to how stubborn Jim Harbaugh is. I think if he sits there and tries to, ground and pound the whole game, it's going to be low scoring, and I don't think they'll cover their spread. But I'm pretty sure Nebraska's secondary is pretty bad, and so I just have a feeling they'll open it up. I'm actually going to take Michigan to cover and the over.
Okay. That's interesting that you brought that up. I was talking about on the Kickstart episode that Nebraska has the second-ranked rushing defense in the country right now. So if Michigan decides to do that and they're stubborn, like you're saying, I think that this game could take forever. Or not take forever. This game could be over quickly. That's what I meant to say. The exact opposite. Because there's going to be a lot of stops. There's going to be a lot of punts. And I think that Michigan's advantage is in the air, so they have to pass it. It's just going to come down to how successful will they be passing it. And they should be really successful because J.J. McCarthy has the best completion percentage in the country, and that's not even including the times that he completed passes to the other team. So I think that Michigan is going to win the game. I also agree with you guys on this, but I am taking Nebraska plus the 17.5. I'm taking the under, and here's why. I have picked Michigan to cover every single week. According to our numbers, they're 0-4. In real life, they're 0-3-1 because the closing line was 24 last week against Rutgers, and they won by exactly 24. And then they're 0-4 on over. So that means that this year, 8 of my losses have come just picking Michigan games, and it's enough. That's enough of that. I'm taking the other team, and I'm taking the under until further notice. And this is the week, and if you're a gambler, you know exactly what's going to happen. Michigan's going to cover, and it's going to go over because I'm finally switching it. So I just can't do it again. I can't take 10 losses to one team doing the same thing. I can take the 10 losses as long as I finally make a change, but I have to make the change, though. I cannot keep picking the same thing and getting the same results. Okay, the game of the week this week for me was this one. It's the night game. I'm not kidding. This is the game of the week, I think. Night game in Iowa. Michigan State traveling down to see the Hawkeyes. Iowa favored by 11.5. Brad's shaking his head. I also said that this is the Sickos community game of the week, by the way. That's part of the reason why it's a game of the week. Iowa favored by 11.5. Over-under is 36.5. We'll hear from Wilson first on this game. What's going to happen for the Spartans and the Hawkeyes this weekend?
So I actually think this is probably the easiest game on the ticket. I got Iowa covering the 11.5 and going over. I think Michigan State is an absolute dumpster fire. If you watch the Maryland-Michigan State game, their quarterbacks did absolutely shit. Now imagine them going on the road at night game at Iowa. It's going to be a blackout. I think Iowa could put up 40 points, actually. not even kidding.
No
Not
shot,
even kidding.
dude.
But yeah, I would have covered 11.5 and the over 36.5.
Wow. That's very, I don't know, man. We'll see about that. All right, Brad, what do you think first before I add my stuff to it?
Oh, so sad. It's so sad. Just because I have a slight cushion in this competition right now, I'm going to go with my heart on this one and against my head. And I'm going to say that somehow, some way, in Kinnick, at night, in the blackout, all that's bullshit, by the way. I'm going to say Michigan State keeps it within 11.5. I still don't think they can win the game, but I can see Iowa winning by like 7-10. Iowa has a lot to prove after that shit show they put up at Penn State last week. Michigan State, it could be the best thing for them to get out of East Lansing, go on the road, get another shot at somebody. So I'm going to go Michigan State with the points, and I am going to take the over on the 36.5. I think both teams are going to be able to score a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these teams are good offensively. You guys mentioned the blackout, the night game, getting out of East Lansing, all the stuff that you guys mentioned. I think the thing that we're forgetting is that these offenses are incompetent. Both of them are. Brian Ferentz is still going to be there. I don't know who's calling plays for Michigan State. Who's the offensive coordinator? Does anyone know?
Jay Johnson.
Okay. I don't even
know
who's
real quick. He's a top 10 paid offensive coordinator in the country.
Excellent. I mean, he's still better than Ferentz, though. He's got to be, because nobody's worse than him. The other thing that I think we are forgetting to mention is maybe you guys know this better than I do because I haven't done a ton of research on this, but who's starting quarterback for Michigan State this weekend? Are we sure that it's Noah Kim?
We're not.
Yeah, so this could be just an absolute shit show, and that's exactly why it's the game of the week for me, because I'm just expecting anything and everything could happen in this game. I am taking Michigan State, though, with the 11.5 as well, and I'm doing that with my head because I think Iowa struggles to score 12 points, just period.
How much is that hatred of Cade McNamara for you, though?
What's that?
How much of that is caused by your hatred of Cade?
I don't hate Cade. I hate their offense. I think that they're just incompetent all the way around. I picked Iowa to win the West this year, and it's been really disappointing to watch them so far. I do think Iowa's defense is good, but also so was Michigan State's defense to start the year before all the Mel Tucker stuff. So, like Brad said, maybe getting out of East Lansing is good for them. I originally marked that I was going to take the over, but both of you guys took it, so I'm going to try to get a game right here, and I'll take the under 36.5 points.
That's cheating.
I don't know if that's legal. Is that legal? Yeah. Do you guys allow it?
It's your show. It's your show.
All right, fair enough. I'll take the under in this game, and those are the games. Should be a fun week. There are 7 games this week. The one that I did have on my sidebar here that I forgot to mention was Rutgers versus Wagner. There is no line currently on that game. I'm expecting there to be one by Saturday, so we skipped over that one. And also, Wisconsin and Ohio State are on bye, so if you were looking for some Buckeye and Badger talk this weekend, you're not going to get it until next week because they're on a bye week. Thanks, everybody, for listening. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube. Brad, do you have any parting shots going into week 5?
No.
Okay. Wilson, what do you got for us going into week 5?
Let's go Lions.
Let's go Lions. Let's go Lions. I'm ready to turn that game on right now. We need a win tonight. As always, thanks, everybody, for listening, like I said, and we'll see you guys in the future.